What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we're going to be building not a drift car, but the drift car. Now this really, you can drift pretty much whatever you want, but the car that pretty much started the whole, didn't really start the whole drift thing, but it really carried it into the US as far as, starter drift cars, and the car that, honestly, a lot of people now at this point, there's almost like a counterculture against 240SXs. People are like, oh, it's a 240, I don't like it. And I'm like, honestly, there's a lot of 240s out there. I 100% agree. There's a ton of 240s out there. But you can't deny that the chassis is really good for what it does, and not as many people that use it in drifting would use it if it wasn't great. So we're gonna go ahead and build a 240, and honestly, I'm debating upon whether I want to do I'm either gonna do the 6.2 V8 or I'm going to do the 2.6. And honestly, like the 2.6, the RB26, I'm kind of leaning towards, but at the same time, I kind of really want to build a V8 240 just because I want to build a V8 240. And I feel like you'll have your guys that'll do this, and it'll keep it in the family, but at the same time, this I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna send it, and we're gonna twin turbocharge it. We're gonna make this thing wild and ludicrous and crazy. And because honestly, the new steering angle system really does a good job of taking advantage of really high-powered cars. So with that being said, we're going to be able to squeeze so much angle and so much, just basically so much of a chain out of this car that it's kind of silly to not go maximum power. And I feel like there might be some people out there that are going to be like, well, that defeats the purpose of learning. And I kind of understand where you're coming from, right? The people that go, well, that defeats the purpose of learning in a lower powered car. Not necessarily. If you're wanting to learn how to drift, I'm kind of leaning towards recommending that people learn without going the full 60 degrees of steering angle, and then moving up to the 60 degrees of steering angle once they start to feel comfortable, once they start to feel like they know what they're doing, that they can catch a slide, that they can retain a slide on factory steering angle. Because if you can't catch a slide and retain a slide on factory steering angle, you won't be able to do it on 60 degrees of steering angle. And you won't be able to do it as well on 60 degrees of steering angle. So I think we're going to go with sport tires on this car just because I want a little bit more grip, especially at the front, because I want to be able to swing the car around easily. But I'm going to go for a 275 Outback because we're going to, let's face it, we're dealing with a 2,600-pound car with power that's so far through the roof that we're going to need to, we're going to need a little bit of extra grip. So, wheels-wise, I kind of want something different. You know what I mean? I kind of want something just a little bit, maybe these Turbo Max, I'm not sure. Kind of wanting something, again, a little bit more on the odd side, but I haven't found anything that really, screams, I haven't found anything that's screaming at me yet. These will work. Any of these will work. I kind of like these, actually. I dig these. They'll work. And then, actually, you know what? Oh, you know what? Not a super rad van. I kind of wanted to do a super rad van, but then again, I feel like a lot of people would freak out if I use a super rad van. You know what a wheel is that a lot of people don't use? The NTO3M. And I'm going to run the NTO3Ms on this car. I think they would work, especially after we make them just a little bit bigger. They're 15s right now. We're going to make them 17s. 17s just work really well on almost anything from the 90s. The 90s and early 2000s, you put a good set of 17s on it, and they just work. Now, from here, I'm going to go for, let's see, the Origin Lab front bumper. It kind of works. It does a good job for what, for what we want. Rocket Bunny wing in the back. Well, not really wing. The Rocket Bunny trunk lip, effectively. And then, let's see. Honestly, I prefer this rear bumper as opposed to the Origin Lab bumper. And then skirts-wise, we'll go with the Origin Lab skirts. They tie in well with everything else. They don't tie in perfectly with the rear bumper, but they tie in a lot better than any of the other options would. We've built, right. Oh, wait, no, we have already built out the drivetrain. My bad. All right, we need to do the power now, and then once the power is done, Once the power is done, we can go to the track. We're going to test this thing. I already know where we're going to test this thing out. We're going to test this thing out at Maple Valley. Because Maple Valley, I mean, come on. V8 Swap 240SX, Maple Valley. What's not to like about that in terms of drifting? Like, that is Forza drifting. Really, like, right there. By the way, we're already over 750 horsepower, and we haven't even touched the turbos. This is going to be monstrous. It's going to be absolutely wild, and I can't wait for how wild it's going to be. Just under 800 horsepower now. Still haven't touched the turbos. 812 horsepower now for race turbos, up to 1,009 horsepower. Again, this thing's going to have way too much power for its own good, but it's going to be fine because we're going to be able to take full advantage of it on these circuits. So, well, on Maple Valley anyway. And again, you know, it might not be the exact, it might not be the exact, representation of what some people think a drift car should be. Like, a lot of people think, like, well, a perfect drift car has somewhere between 400 and 600 horsepower. Anything more than that is, like, unnecessary. And I kind of agree. Like, I understand what you're getting at, but at the same time, I can also see where, I mean, this car is just built to be fun, dude. Like, these, I think we're going to leave alone. We're going to soften up the front sway bar a little bit, soften up the front springs a little bit, bring the ride height all the way down. Soften a little, soften a little. And let's bias the brakes 55% front, turn up the pressure a little bit, and then let's see. Let's make it 175. And now we're going to go, oh, dude, this thing is ready. This thing is hella ready. We're going to go ahead and take this thing out, and I'm not even going to go into test drive. I'm going to go straight into free play, straight to Maple Valley, and we're going to rip. Oh, what the heck am I doing in here? Didn't want that. Okay, race setup. That's what I wanted. Find me Maple Valley. 3 laps. Day. Let's do this. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be such a blast. I'm going to give it, like, the first lap or so to warm up to the car, and I think after the first lap, I should have a pretty good feel for it, and then after that, we should be able to just take off. Biggest thing I'm curious about with this car is that, like, with so much power, we'll be able to spin the rear tires in any gear we want. So when you can spin the tires in any gear you want, you can pretty much, again, do whatever. So I feel like I'm going to have almost unlimited room to follow whatever line I want to follow. All right, we ready? Let's go. Oh, come on. Stay on that line. No matter how low in the RPM range you are, you can still get wheel spin. Near that line. Come on. Being a little bit more conservative with angle right now, just trying to stay on that line. You gotta predict where the line is gonna go just a little bit ahead of time so you don't shoot wide. Ah, I didn't want to bank it. I'm glad it didn't. Because now that it banks quicker, you have to be really on your toes. Ah, I banked it there. You gotta be really on your toes. And, ooh, oh, wow, that was terrible. Sections like this, it's a little bit harder to follow the line exactly the way they want you to because you want to track out. You want to, give yourself as much angle potential as possible. But when following that line, it's a little bit tricky to do that. Honestly, I have so much power, I probably could have gone with the longer gears, and it probably would have benefited me a little bit. Can stay a little bit more in the torque band rather than just banging off the rev limiter all the time. Come on. Ah, we're way off from the line. Speed is good. Angle's decent, but we're way off from the line, or where we were. We aren't anymore. And the problem ends up being when you go back to follow the line again, and you straighten out, and then you bank your points. There she goes. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Bring back the other way. Not bad. Trying to stay right on that line for maximum potential. Oh, banked it. It's so quick to bank score. Woo! Got a little angle happy there. There she goes. Come on, stick with it. There we go, there we go. There. Oh, dude, that's exactly where I want it to be. I need to get a little bit more ballsy with the angle, though. Oh, there we go. That's the kind of angle I was looking for. But the thing is, I need to figure out now how to maintain angle close to that. Gonna sacrifice the line here for a second. Wow, it's still like a 5 out of 10. That's crazy. So you can kind of still go nuts down the straightaways, and it's not going to punish you too much. Man, it really, like, it just allows you to stay flat everywhere, dude. So flat everywhere. Oh, no! Pushed it a little too far. Just the tiniest bit too far, and it was like, yep, you've gone too far, you're done. Come on. I'm just going to stay flat on the throttle. Oh, no! Pulled myself off track on that one. This lap was bad. Even compared to my warm-up lap, this lap was bad. Yeah, I just threw it in way too hard. Okay, I need to kind of, like, regroup myself, basically. Not let that happen again. Just be really a little bit more careful, I think. Because even though you have that much more steering angle, it's not necessarily like, you're not like, it's not this invincibility thing. Oh, stick with the line. Oh, that was really good, actually. I think that was handled well. Oh, that's going to be off. That's going to... No! Oh, yeah, it was. Duh. All right, I'm going to sacrifice the line a little bit and try to link this whole lap. If I can link this whole lap, I will be very, very excited. Oh, I do apologize if I don't talk as much throughout this lap, because we're going for it. Come on, I know I can do this. I know I can link that whole lap. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, my God! I was trying to transition and then, wow, went too wide and then screwed the whole lap up, but... God, I was trying to get that whole lap, and like, I sat too long in the transition, and you cannot snooze on these transitions, man. If you snooze on the transitions, you are so done. Oh, that's going to be too much. Holy crap. I don't even care that I lost my points. Wow, that's insane. The amount of speed we went into that with, that completely changes drifting on Maple Valley. That completely changes it. There's no way you could have ever gone in with that much speed before and survived. That's incredible. Come on, and back the other way. Up to 6th. You have to be so willing to just face the walls. So willing. Ooh, oh, God. Don't bank. Yep. You hang out straight for even a second, and that score is banking. Like, I mean, even though they've given you the ability to link the entire tracks now, or basically link any track you want, they're not making it easy for you, that's for sure. Come on, follow it through. There we go, follow it through, follow it through. Transition back the other way. God, I love the rev limiter in this thing. You wouldn't know. It's not like I hang out on it all the time or anything. Whoa. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. A little wide, but not necessarily too wide. I almost hung out in the transition for too long. Almost. Not quite, but almost. That was awesome. That was awesome. I mean, it felt great anyway, and that car is going to be one that I'm definitely going to be practicing in because that's going to be a car that I think I can go online with and do pretty well. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit that like button, and feel free to replicate this car, replicate this build if you enjoyed it and want to try it out yourself. Make sure you subscribe for more. There'll be videos coming daily, and I will see y'all in the next one. Talk to you guys later.